come here and set this up. I have all these windows open again. Why? 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 Let's see. Okay, I need to open here and turn on the live stream. God, I hope I'm on the right live stream page. Live stream window. Confirmation. There we go. Live stream page. Okay, so now I need to take this thing from YouTube and hit share. Yes, it says it's starting. This much is good. Copy. Okay, and then you should come here, go to text, and hit iframe. Paste. Paste. Yes, I did it. Okay. Okay. Man, all right, so I am ready to rock and roll, and Ronnie is on the line with us this morning at 2 minutes into the call. Ronnie, are you here? Let's see, hold on. It says waiting. Oh, it says joining. Okay. All right, so this is set, so I can close this. I have the instructions to join there. And obviously they're the right instructions because Ronnie has made it. I think Ronnie has made it. It says joining. Okay, in the meantime on YouTube, yeah, hey, Love Her Productions, hi, good morning. You should hop on Zoom if you feel like joining us, darling, for sure, okay? All right. And it says Ronnie is setting up her audio. Oh, Ronnie, I love your the image you have. It's really beautiful. I guess you can't hear me though. Love Herbert Productions. Do you know how to get to the Zoom call? I think you do. Hold on. I'm going to copy and paste it just in case. Boom, copy, boom, paste. There you go. All right. So, hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Lynn Bell, and today this is our regular weekly Jailbreak Your Heart and Howl at the Moon live stream. So this is a coaching live stream where I offer coaching to everyone who participates, as well as doing readings with tarot and whatever comes in, just spiritual readings. Let's see. So we've got some ladies joining us today in session. I've got Ronnie, and I've got Christina, and Rose is here. Hi, good morning, everyone. You're probably muted, so you'll need to unmute yourself if you want to chime in. But what we do every Wednesday morning is we talk about we talk about stuff. We talk about what's going on astrologically, and then we talk about literally about stuff, like the things that are going on energetically within us personally, and as a spiritual life coach who's been doing this for almost 10 years now, I give you some feedback and I help you find your thrive. So, look, I'm sorry if you're on the Zoom call and it's taken a while for you to get through. I don't know why it's taking so long. It looks like I have actually a decent internet connection, but it seems to be It might just be Zoom. Zoom might be overwhelmed with all the people around the world that are all of a sudden doing Zoom calls. Like they went from not zero because they've been popular for a while now, but I think all of a sudden Zoom is like, "Whoa." So anyway, I'm glad you all have joined us. And what I'm going to do is start off and talk to you about what's going on astrologically because there are a couple of things that we need to look at. It's going to be really important for everyone, regardless of what your sign is, regardless of what your affiliations are. This is going to be a really important time for us. So today is, let's see, April. Yes, today is April 22nd, 2020. So April technically could be like 2 plus 2, right? 2 plus 2 is 4. And then today is the 22nd, so that's also a 2 plus 2, which is a 4. And then there's 2020, which is also a 2 plus 2, which is a 4. So this could be an auspicious day. Now, look, I'm going to be the first to admit that I try to find auspiciousness everywhere I go. Okay. My whole thing is let me find some auspiciousness up in here so that I can actually find something to celebrate. Okay. So I'm going to celebrate the fact that today is April 22nd in the year 2020. So this actually is going to lead me to something that's not astrological, that's numerological. You know, the year is really important. So right now we're in the year 2020, which is 2 plus 2, right? So it's a 40 year or a 4 amplified. As you're doing your healing over the course of this year, I want you to pay very close attention to your 4-year-old self. So back when you were 4 years old, what were you thinking? Where were you living? What was going on around you? What was your family going through? And how were you being treated? How were you being valued? This is really important because these astrological years are, I'm sorry, these years, the year that we're living in is an energetic amplification of, well, the number that it represents. And so the number 4, which we're in 2020, so this is a 4-year, this is the year of home, of containment. So the number 4 is about home, it's about containment. It can represent the heart, it can represent feeling like you're trapped. Like a lot of us are obviously at home, with the exception of Miss Christina, who's in her car on her way to do something. She's on her way to the grocery store. And ooh, what is that? Oh, mail. She's going to the post office. Yeah, girl, right on. Wish I had a car. So get this. Number 4 is about being confined and finding freedom in confinement. Okay, finding freedom in confinement. So we think about, I keep doing this with my hands. I keep doing it like this where you can't see it, but actually what I should be doing it is like this. You think about the 4 walls of a box, okay? And now I'm going to sneeze. Uh, uh, Thank God I had some tissue right here. Otherwise, I would have sprayed my entire printer with my allergens. Um, so 4 is a container, and being contained is both good and bad. So 4 is also the number of safety, okay? A lot of us over the course of this year are going to be challenged in safety. So when these challenges come up, these are opportunities for us to actually find safety in unsafe situations. So a lot of us feel unsafe around coronavirus. People, you ask them how they're doing, and the first thing that they want to do is The first thing they really want to do is start talking about how everything has gone wrong, like everything that's bothering them. Oh, the news is this and the news is that, and these people are doing this and the president is doing that. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. What I have to do is remind myself that people are being threatened. They feel threatened by the unknown, they feel unsafe. Life is mysterious for us all of a sudden. Well, what I want to encourage you to do as a badass butterfly and as a person who is a divine being, who recognizes yourself as a divine being having a human experience, I want to encourage you to actually think about like um, how you can find safety within yourself, within your spirituality, within your spiritual practice, within your close relationships, how you can find safety and belonging and finding, maybe establishing some kind of a root system where you can feel grounded even when things are uncertain. This especially is going to be important for my moon people. Christina, I know you are very curious about the moon and you're really studying her, right? So, the moon, by the way, I don't think I've mentioned this to you. So, the number 2 is represents the moon and divine feminine energy. So when we're in a 4-year and it's not like 3 plus 1, it's actually 2 plus 2, what we're getting is a double amplification. And then we have these zeros, which are also amplifiers. So what we're getting is divine feminine, not just once, but twice with an amplification. All right. So this means that the moon is super important, and understanding that the divine feminine finds safety through things like connection, receptivity, and becoming a vessel. So right now, as we are looking at this number 4 and we're looking at the containers, we're looking at our 4 walls, a lot of people are going a little stir crazy and they're saying, oh my God, I'm going crazy inside this container. What I want to encourage you to do is say, hey, how can I become at one with this container? And how can I allow my own kind of growth to expand within this container? How can I find safety? How can I find more receptivity? How can I receive what I need even though I'm in a limited space? Does that make sense to everyone? And Christina, if you want to chime in, do you have any questions about what I'm talking about? Or is anything coming to your mind? Careful.
No questions yet. I'm listening. Yeah, no questions.
All right. How are you receiving this? Does it feel okay?
It does. I am. I'm. While I'm out, I'm gonna go get a few things to do. Add a little bit more to my new moon ritual tonight because
Okay.
reading a little bit about what other people had in the group, even about like your moon cycle and
Yeah.
how all of that is just connected. It definitely resonates with how I'm feeling, and I haven't been sleeping the past 2 nights. I literally
Yeah.
have got maybe like 1 or 2 hours of sleep. Like I can't sleep,
Yeah.
so it's all resonating.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, it's really important. I'm glad you mentioned that about this, the sleep and about the group, by the way. I want to mention this to everyone. My Facebook group is called You Lead Intuitive Business Development for Heart-Centered Entrepreneurs. So if you want to join that group, you're more than welcome to. This is a group for people who are heart-centered entrepreneurs, meaning we are people who are actually Um, hmm, we follow our hearts and we have a desire to do something. We want to write a book, or we want to start a business, or we want to go into jewelry making, or we want to become a yogini. We want to open a studio. We want to launch a foundation. There, we got something that we want to do. And we want to use our intuition to co-create this adventure with the universe, right? So that's what the group is about, and I help nurture you through that process. So if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. There's an application to complete, and then you're in. It's a free group, and I hope you'll join us. So taking this kind of year into account, this whole year is about safety, about security, about femininity, about receptivity, which all means that, you know, we live in a world where we have to both do and be. So that means that we have to no, we have to take action and we have to be still. So there is going to be a really powerful dance that we're doing this year, where we must actually feel into what the universe is calling us to do. We must be listening. We must slow down. We have to stop doing so much. And we have to just kind of surrender and go with the flow. It's really a beautiful, beautiful opportunity for us if we're willing to give in. And I think where people are going to run into the most trouble is the giving in part, like the giving in to surrender, the not doing, the not being able to have a solution and, oh, I'm going to take action on it. We want to make things happen. Okay. So the sun has moved from Aries, the quintessential, we want to make things happen, into Taurus, which is kind of like, I'm going to make things happen. Okay. Taurus is very much about being a bull and charging forward with things. But actually, that's not really true, because remember that Taurus is also a cow. And when you look at cows, when you look at a bull in a field, that bull is just sitting there. Bulls don't wander around aimlessly. Bulls will stand under a tree and they're going to watch. They're going to watch and they're going to make sure everything's okay. They're going to go sniffing around the cows like, hey, girls, hey, y'all, what's up, moo, right? That's the nature of a bull. Now, when a bull gets its eye on something, when it gets its mind on something, then it becomes very, very forceful. It becomes very, very strong. It's very, very focused. It knows what it wants and it's going to go and tear it up, right? So, what we have to understand about ourselves is that now the sun has moved into Taurus. We are going to have a little bit more opportunity to connect with stillness and to maybe find the balance between the doing, the purposeful doing, and the purposeful being, right? So, and ladies on the call, please feel free to interrupt. And if you're watching on YouTube, then you should feel free to type any questions that you might have. I'm happy to answer. So, oops, I need to turn that off because that's super distracting. Okay, so right now, we've got the sun in Taurus. And by the way, as an aside, today is the new moon in Taurus. All right, tonight. I think it's tonight. It rises tonight at 7, I think, or it could have been today at 7. I don't know, because I'm still trying to balance between being and doing. And I've got a lot that's coming at me. So I'm kind of being while doing it all. And so I might miss some things. So I'm not sure if it's if the new moon has already risen or if it's going to rise tonight. Um, the thing, though, that I want to make sure that you all understand is that this new moon is really about understanding your relationship with your purpose. Now, normally I like to call this divine life purpose, which is like your core purpose, but you should also look at the purpose that that you have around you all the time now. So your purpose at home, your purpose in your relationships, your purpose with yourself. What is your intention? Where are you going? What's driving you? There's something that's going on that's driving you to do the things that you're doing and to be the way that you're being. So part of the work that you're going to do as a part of our ritual is to uncover those processes and to explore your purpose. So I have prepared, believe it or not, I've actually gotten it done. I've gotten the new moon, the sun and new moon report is done. I have the new moon ritual done, and I'm just needing to upload 3 photos for the um, new moon and Taurus supplemental worksheet that I give you. So as soon as we're done on this call, I am going to upload that to the Facebook group. You all will get direct links to that, but I will also mail that out to the people who are on my mailing list. And if you want to join my mailing list, you can click on the link and that will help you get that list. All right. So what I want to do for the rest of our time before we get into the coaching, I want to talk to you. I just want to give you some of the questions that I'm having you ask, that I'm asking you, having you answer in the new moon um, ritual supplement, right? In the supplemental worksheet for this new moon ritual. So this is for, I think I'm in the wrong one. I'm in Aries. Okay, so you should close and you
So
should
maybe
also
before
close. Yes, go ahead, Christina.
oh, so I was gonna say, so we talked a little bit about Taurus and how Taurus, the overall trait of
Yeah.
sign Taurus. So now when we think of the moon being a new moon in Taurus, how does that relate to the sign? Like,
Yeah, okay.
how do you
This is a good
utilize
question.
that?
Yeah, this is the question, and this is what I'm going to answer in just a moment as soon as I get this form opened up. Um, so when you do these supplemental worksheets, these questions are coming directly, here it is. These questions are coming directly from the constellation of Taurus. So the new moon is a creative portal, right? It's a doorway that opens creativity to the constellation. So um, Taurus represents your worth, things that you value, things that are important to you, and how you value things, what you perceive as beautiful and worthwhile. Okay. Now, when the new moon and the sun move into Taurus, it means that these are the things that are heightened for you. Your values are heightened. What is important to you is heightened. Your possessions are heightened because Taurus also represents what you possess, and it represents your income, how you earn money. It's really but before your possessions come, before your money comes, there is a relationship with creativity, and that is where Taurus is most important. And there's a question that I ask in this worksheet, and I basically say, how's your creativity? How impotent are you on a scale of 1 to 10? And I know that question is going to throw people off because they're going to be like, how impotent am I? Yeah, exactly. How impotent are you? How able are you to, when you have an idea, when God, when life force energy says, hey, you need to do this, how able are you to pull together all of your energy and bring it all together and say yes to the opportunity that's being presented? So we think about impotence, we usually think about it in terms of male sexuality. And again, we have that bull that comes to mind. A bull represents a very fertile male being, and we can think about a phallus. Well, when a phallus is flaccid, when a man cannot um, uh, reach an erection and cannot maintain an erection, we can look at that and we can say, okay, that's impotency. And that's a very visual thing that we can all understand. But we have to understand that that happens in all of us. And unfortunately, it's happening in most of us all the time, because it's one thing to get excited about an idea and to be like, oh, yeah, I'm excited about an idea. I got an erection. Okay. But can you maintain that erection, girl, all the way through until you climax? This is a big issue with people, because what happens is they get excited and then they either arrive too quickly. Okay, I'm just trying not to be vulgar, but they get there too quickly, or they fall flat. Okay. And this is not a man problem. This is an everybody problem. This is the problem with what's happening in our society today. A lot of it is about having too many choices, and you can do too many things and you can't maintain your focus. But this is why you have to have your daily practice. And this is why you have to do things like the moon rituals, because you use these as opportunities to come back to yourself, to come back to being focused, to come back to being at one, to gathering your resources. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is you meditate so that you can call in your spirit guides. You can call your body and you do your yoga so you can get online, so that you can all get back into this kind of, this is my erection. This is my erection pose right here. My get back into erection, okay? But this is where Christina's like, we need, this is what direction is right here. But you see what I'm talking about, though. You know exactly what I'm talking about. The whole point is that we have to bring ourselves together and we have to do things to help us maintain our relationship with creativity, our relationship with source energy. So this is what is important with Taurus, because Taurus people are very, very, very good at sticking with things. Now, they might get distracted and they might go off over here and do this, but they know how to come back to something. And this is something that we can all learn, how to create systems, organizing things so that when we have to leave, we can come back. Maintaining our relationship with God. So even if we get off track with God, goddess, source of all, we get off track. I'm over here, I'm all in the 3D world, I'm all over here doing this thing. It's like, okay, wait, come on back. Oh, okay, okay. So I'm back here, at your source. Does that make sense for y'all? Yeah, okay, very good. Look at Christina putting on her mask. She's such a good girl. Go on, girl, do your thing. Do your whole society, I'm a honor society thing. That's right. Go on, girl. Young and healthy. I'm taking care of people in my community. I'm wearing a mask to take care of people in my community. Exactly. Go on, girl. Um, so that's one of the things that we want to do with this Taurus energy, to make sure that we understand um, that we are being called to fertility. All right. Now, here's the other thing that I want you all to think about. So, Taurus is about possessions, and Taurus is about finances, earned income. If you cannot sustain the thing you need in order to have the outcome you want, you cannot expect financial success and the possessions that you can have that go along with financial success. And this is the problem. And this is what we need to challenge with the sun in Taurus. So, what we want to do is make sure that we understand that the universe needs us to sharpen our focus and keep ourselves focused on um, on the prize. Did I tell you all the story about being in Costa Rica and needing to walk on my knees up the aisle of the church? Did I tell you all that story? Okay. So, um, I was in Costa Rica and I was like wandering around, feeling a little bit lost, but feeling my feels as I do when I travel. So I was walking through this town and I said, I'm gonna go find this Black Madonna. They have a Black Madonna. So I went to the church and I found the Black Madonna. And what everybody would do is all the people from the town would come to the church. They walk in the door, they genuflect, and then they get on their knees on this stone floor and walk on their knees up to the Madonna with their hands clasped, and they'd be praying. Now there were a whole bunch of people doing it and a whole bunch of old people, and I'm looking at them going, wow, they are crawling on their knees up there. And so I sat down and I started thinking, well, why would you do this? Why do you do this act of humility? Right. And I say, oh, well, what they're doing is they're being humble. They're saying, God, I'm below you. And this is what people who are humble do. I said, I want to try this. Okay. Get an urge to try this. So I get on my knees and I take one knee step. I'm and then another knee step. And then I'm like, ouch, this shit hurts. Ow, I can't do this. Oh my God, because the stone floor is ice cold and all that ice starts riding up through your joints where there's no fat. There's just bone and tendon and knee pad. Like you might have that much fat. It's not a lot of fat on your knees. So here I am trying to walk on my knees, and now the little old people are passing me, and I'm holding on to the side because I cannot deal with the pain in my knees. And I want to get up, but the old people are passing me, and I'm like, look, this is not, I can't just get up and walk out like I'm the young American who can't walk on her knees to the end of the thing. What is wrong with me? So I get my pride up and I say, I'm going to suck this up. So I get down and I'm doing my knees and I'm pausing because the pain is intense. And then what I start doing is my practice for when pain becomes intense. I deal with the emotions and then I become at one with the pain. So when I started becoming at one with the pain, I started hearing a voice and she said, look up, look up. And so I looked up and what I saw was this little Madonna, she's little, right? And she's on top of this kind of golden tower at the end of the church, right? So basically, I had to walk on my knees all the way, keeping my mind on her. When I had my mind on her, there was no pain. I'd become at one with the pain and I'd just be in this kind of ecstasy on my knees, slowly moving toward her. But I felt like I was shrouded in this love. But then my mind would wander and I'd be like, oh my God, this hurts. What am I doing? I should get up. This is crazy. I've only gone a yard. I still got 50 yards to go. Oh my God. It took me an hour to get to the end of this row, but that was the most life-changing hour I'd ever spent. Because what I learned is that number one, humility is not about lowering yourself and being lower than God. What I learned is that humility is actually being at one with God. You're humble when you don't turn away from God. You keep your eye always on God. It doesn't matter if the pain is coming, the old people are passing you by, the kids are passing you by. It doesn't matter. You become one with God, and then you're in a state of grace, and that's what humility is. Well, when we're in real life and we have a goal that we want, let's say that we want to start a business, right? Heart centered entrepreneur, I want to start a business. Well, you say you want this business, that becomes your focal point. I'm getting to this business. Then a challenge comes up. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't know what I want to do. This person turned me down. I don't know what to do. Oh, it's COVID. Oh, this happened. Oh, that person said this, all these things that go wrong. Our tendency is to want to take those things and become at one with those things and make those a part of who we are and let them derail us from our path. But the Madonna is the outcome, the thing, not the outcome, but the thing that we desire, the business that we want, the book we want to write. That is the grail. So what we do is when, this issue, this challenge comes up, we deal with this challenge by keeping our eye on that prize. Then another challenge comes up. We deal with that challenge, but we always come back to the goddess. We always come back to our focus. Does that make sense? All right, cool. I think that's all I have to say. And that's what Taurus is about. Keeping that, dealing with stuff, coming back. Always come back. Okay? All right, cool. I'm done talking. That's enough. That's enough said. So, hi guys. How y'all doing? So let's see, Ronnie, you are the first one on the call today. Do you want to um, do you have a particular question, or is there anything that you want want me to look at while we are online today? And just unmute yourself when you're ready.
Hello.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you today? You look
I'm
beautiful. I
good.
love your blouse.
Thank you. It's a robe, but thank you. I
Mhm.
appreciate it.
It's a pretty robe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there anything you said that I want you to look at online?
Yeah, is there anything in particular you want to talk about? Or, we have your coaching objectives, right?
Hmm.
And if you, is there anything that you want to talk about, like that's come up for you over the week that maybe you need some coaching through, that we can use that to help take you to your objectives?
Um, well, not really.
Not
The only
directly,
thing,
huh?
no, not
Mm.
directly, no. The only thing that I was just paying attention to what she was just talking about, concerning like keeping your eyes on the prize. And I feel like I have a major problem with that because when I have distractions in my life, I tend to focus on them and then I can't focus on my goal.
Yeah.
So that is, that's been my issue for quite some time.
So, Ronnie, is there a reason, like, has that come up for you at all this week in particular?
Yes.
And in what way did it come up for you?
Relationships. I just feel like I have to be balanced in order for me to like move forward with my goals. Like I have to be balanced in my relationship because it's like a major, part of my life. So
Hmm.
if I'm not balanced in that, then I'm just thrown off in every aspect.
Right. So you have a desire. What I'm hearing is you have a desire to accomplish something, but what happens is your relationship gets in the way.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I have a question for you. Um, how does it benefit you to be distracted by your relationship?
It doesn't. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't benefit me.
But it does, and it does actually. And here's the psychological stuff, Ronnie, and this is where the shit gets hard, because you are receiving a benefit. You just don't recognize that that benefit is there, and you might not. It's a mindset that gets created, and it
Mhm.
keeps you imprisoned. So if let's just do this kind of hypothetically. Um, if you didn't have this relationship, what would you be doing?
Um, Actually, I don't think that I would be doing anything that I'm doing now. I think that there was lessons in this relationship to get me to this point where I'm at. So,
So that's part of the benefit, right?
right, right,
So that's part of the benefit. Like, you
yeah,
needed to learn some lessons so that you could overcome some things within yourself.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's one level of benefit for sure.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, what would you be doing if you didn't have this relationship?
Just working a 9 to 5, probably. Um, I, I don't know. Just something totally different.
So, what I'm noticing is that you started off this conversation and you said there's some goals
Mhm.
that you want to have, but this relationship stops you from achieving those goals.
Right.
Yet, if you didn't have this relationship, the very first answer you would have thought would have been out of your mouth would have been like, well, yeah, I'd be working on my goals. I'd be having my goals if I didn't have this relationship. So there are two things that this
But there'll
is
be different
telling me.
goals. There'll be different goals.
Okay. Okay. So they would be different goals.
Right.
But I still didn't hear you saying that you'd be thriving without this relationship. You said I'd be working on my 9 to 5, and you weren't excited about that. It's not like your 9 to 5 was like, oh yeah, I'd be rocking this 9 to 5, you know?
Right. Right. So that's not me. I really don't want to do that. So yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Right.
So here's what I want you to start thinking about. As a divine being having a spiritual experience, I mean, a human experience, right? You're a
Hmm.
divine being having a human experience. The relationships and the things that you're experiencing in the three-dimensional world are there by design, right?
Hmm.
And they're your design. They are your soul's divine, and you are your soul's design, and you are acting it out. You're living it. Okay. So, one of the things that you can start doing, I'd love for you to do this, Ronnie. I want you to make an appreciation list of the things that you don't appreciate. Okay. So it's
Okay.
an appreciation list of the things that you don't appreciate. Like, this thing bugs me, this thing bugs me, and this thing bugs me, right? So you're going to write down everything that bugs you.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is appreciate those things, right?
Okay.
So to appreciate means to raise the value of those things. And when you appreciate something, you're raising the value of those things, but as the appreciator, you are also appreciating. So what you're doing is you're actually raising your vibration. Does that make sense?
It does.
Hmm.
It does.
So one of the things I don't appreciate is people who chew loudly. All right. I don't appreciate people who smack their food.
Right.
And I live in a house with now there are 6 boys.
Hmm.
And every morning and every evening they eat um, ramen noodles, and they slurp the shit out of them. It is.
Right.
And what I learned is that in their culture, that's actually a symbol of appreciation. What they're
Oh.
doing when they eat loudly like that is they're saying to the cook, to the preparer, this is delicious. Thank you. And so it's actually encouraged to chew loudly because it's a sign of, yes, I appreciate what you've done, right? And it's praising the cook, which to me, I can totally relate to that. Okay. So when I learn this, it actually helps me appreciate the experience that I'm having with these boys, right? And so now when I look at them, I can see them as being not little not little brats that are, that are just kind of playing with their food, which is how I interpreted it before. Now I see them as people who are actually very appreciative and that are raising the stakes on their meal, which is high vibrational to me,
Hmm.
right? So that's what I want you to do, Ronnie. I want you to make a list. Is that my girl?
Yes.
Oh, tell her that Crystalline says hi.
Crystal Lynn says hi, baby.
Oh,
Go with your
4
She,
years old, right? 4 years
yes.
old. Okay, this
Yes.
is her year. This is her year, right? She's
Yep.
gonna be teaching you all sorts of lessons.
She definitely is, honestly.
I know, right? She's your best
Yeah.
teacher, right?
Yes, she is. She really is.
Wait till she gets to be 14, Ronnie. Ooh,
Wow.
you're gonna be learning some lessons.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep that in mind and now that you said that number.
Right? Exactly. Exactly. So that's your home fun for this week for sure. To
Okay.
look at the things that are bugging you and definitely appreciate them. And the harder they are to appreciate, the better. Like, when you're dealing with romantic relationships, I
Hmm.
don't know the nature of your relationship, but I know that like in the past with my partners, I always fell in love with a man's potential, you know,
Hmm.
always in love with his potential. And I was always resisting who he is in that moment. And don't get me wrong, some of that shit should have been resisted, like, the drinking, the drug use, the philandering. Yeah, resist that, right? But
Hmm.
then there's a part of you actually that's saying, no, don't resist that. Harmonize with it and see what happens.
Mm.
Harmonize and see what happens. Because when you go into resistance, you're entering a state of ego. Okay. Ego is saying, I'm separate from this. I'm different from this. I don't want this. Right.
Mm. Okay.
When you separate from him and from his behavior, you're actually separating from God and from experience. Right. So, what we want to do as spiritual beings is find source first. Source is union. And then, so we have to be with that pain. Okay, he's been cheating on me. This is what happened in a relationship. So I'm just talking to y'all from experience, okay?
Oh. Hmm.
But he was cheating on me. He's cheating on me. This is not okay. This is pain. I'm feeling all these things. So you sit with this pain.
Hmm.
And of course, you're going to make decisions from your ego, from your personality, from your human self. This is normal. But what I want you to always do is come back to the truth. Okay, spirit, in the place of union, what is my next move? Help me to understand, help me to see more clearly. Prayers, help me to see the right way to see this situation. You know, what is the right thing for me to do? I want change. How do I find this higher ground? Does that make sense, Ronnie?
Yes, it does. It makes a lot of sense.
Okay. So, and I think what I'm saying is that you have to balance your egoic needs with your
Hmm.
spiritual truth, right?
Right.
Spiritual truth is you are spirit and your husband is spirit, and you all are going to harmonize, you know, and it's not always going to be the most it's not going to always be the ego's way. And so what I want to encourage you to do more of is to try to see things from Spirit's eyes. And the way to do that is to ask Spirit, show me, let me see the bigger picture of things. And then you'll make better decisions, you know?
Yes.
Okay. Does that help at all, Ronnie?
Yes, it definitely does. It does. And I'm gonna
Okay.
take that into perspective and
Okay.
yeah.
All right, cool. Today is the 22nd. And by the way, I'm you'll get the new moon ritual, right? So you should do that ritual tonight or
Okay.
tomorrow. Sometime between now and the end, like over the next week, you should do the ritual, right? So there's the worksheet and the ritual. So you should sorry, there are three. There's the report, there's the ritual, and the worksheet. Okay. You should read the report, do the worksheet, and then do the ritual. That would be
Okay.
the way to do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. So this is going to be make an appreciation list and appreciate what's on it.
Okay.
Cool. Very good. All right,
Thank you.
Rose. You're welcome, Ronnie. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Rose, hi.
Hi, Crystalline. How are you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I am loving this Taurus energy. I'm actually loving it. Like, I'm getting shit done. I'm actually like super focused. I'm checking off most things on my to-do list, but I'm also being kind to myself when I can't do everything in a day because there's only 24 hours. But I love it. I'm loving this time.
Yeah, I'm so glad.
I feel way more grounded. I feel
Yeah.
so much. I feel like I'm grooving, which is
Yeah.
really
You know what? You're Virgo, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So Virgo is a really complimentary sign for Taurus. So I'm not surprised, Rose, that you are feeling really good, you know?
Totally.
Very
Also,
good.
I ordered an emerald ring actually from Ireland, so that should arrive soon.
From the Emerald Isle?
Yes.
Oh my God, I am so excited. I am so excited. That is the right thing to do. Were you able to make sure that the back is open?
So given the ones I found on Etsy, both the back and the front were open. And so I
Good.
thought, you know what, it's a compromise. It might not be the
No,
perfect
that's
ring.
it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's the way to do it. Because what you want, you know how like, oh, I can't find it right now. So the front will be open. You'll see you'll see your emerald. The back will be open and you'll have the facet, like the little point back there, right? And the point is that the light comes through the front and shines through the back and enters at your space, whatever,
Yeah.
into your finger, right? So I think that's wonderful. I am so happy. That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you. And thank you for the recommendation. And also taking your advice, I decided to wear some green jade today. So
Yes, good. So, oh, this is a new moon. Okay, hold on. Let me tune in for Rose and the ritual for when she gets her ring. Do you know when your ring is scheduled to arrive?
probably a week to 2 weeks from now.
A week to 2 weeks. So that will be the full moon. Wait, 2 weeks from now. Okay, so this is going to still be Sun towards. Oh, Scorpio. That's exciting. Okay, so let's just see what Spirit says about Rose and her new emerald ring with Mercury. What message? Because we want her to attune, we want her to activate it. What would she do? Okay. Okay. So Rose, when you get your ring, I'm going to want you to use it with the full moon, and I don't want you to wear the ring. I don't want you to wear the ring until after the full moon. Hold on, let me just see if I get this right. Hold on. Let's see. Right. Let's see. I'm looking at a calendar right now to see the day, because we definitely want, oh, we should actually look at the moon calendar. We want to, so Wednesday is Mercury's day.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me just see, May 7th. Okay, so on Wednesday, May 6th, you're in Boston.
Yes, I am.
May 3:45 a.m. So that would be, okay, and just let me see, can you put, okay, so yes, all right, so I don't know if you happen to be able to, okay, what are the chances of you getting raw cow's milk? Do you have any raw health food stores near you?
We have Whole Foods, but that's about it, I think.
Okay, you can check with Whole Foods and see if they have raw cow's milk. That's the best way to do it. So what you would do is on Wednesday, the 6th, you would do of May, you would use do the full moon ritual, right? So you'll start ahead, because the full moon, by the way, rises at like around midnight in your time zone on the 6th. So to me, this is very auspicious.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would want you to do is to do the full moon ritual, do the full moon ritual worksheets. You know, this is going to ask you to do your shadow stuff, and then the ritual takes you on that cabin where you're going to go in, you're going to clean the cabin and sit by the thing and, you know, look at your shadows. So you do all that stuff. Put the ring in a either glass, like a glass, or a silver vessel. If you don't have actual silver, then use white ceramic. Put the milk in there, put the ring in the milk, and then put the ring in the moonlight. And sorry, put the jar, the glass of milk with the ring in the moonlight,
Mm-hmm.
and let it sit overnight. And then in the morning, so that's after you've done the ritual, right? And then in the morning, you can take it and rinse it with, uh, you can rinse it under the sink, under the tap water, flowing tap water. And while you're rinsing it, you're going to pray. So you've already done your moon ritual. You've already kind of released the shadowy stuff, right? You're like, okay, look, I'm acknowledging a shadow. Let it go. I really want you to, in your ritual, pour out any issues you have of impoverishment, of lack, of fear around not having enough. And also, it'll be a full moon in Scorpio. So issues around sexuality, again, creativity, this is all connected to creativity, being an impotence, all that. Oh, and very important, Rose, around issues of power, right? Feeling like you're entitled to power, your ability to express power, any feelings you have around not, like any issues you have against power, you need to deal with those. Like, oh, this is not good. Oh, she's exerting her power. Oh, she's a bitch. She's, any judgments you have against power, you need to deal with those, because that's your suppressed power urge. Let all that go. Let your emerald be in milk where it's being purified. Okay, it's being purified. It's being kind of baptized with this security and this loving milk. You can use regular milk if you don't have raw milk. Okay, take it out, rinse it, and then as you're rinsing it, affirm what's new for you. Yes, I'm moving from being afraid of power to embracing power. I'm honoring power, honoring abundance, and connecting with Mercury.
That
Okay.
makes total sense. That makes total
Okay.
sense. You actually
All
really
right.
hit upon my relationship with power. So thank you.
Okay. Good. Yeah, this is a lot of our issues with power. This is a part of our life right now. I have a huge suppressed power urge. It's horrifying. It makes me a horrible person because I get so resentful of things. The resentment is so strong. So for me, it's really important that I always honor power and acknowledge it and express it so that I don't go crazy and with jealousy, because I will go crazy when I see somebody with more power. I will be like, I scratch your eyes out. You have more power than me. I scratch out your eyes. I take from you,
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I feel that on a deep level. And actually, so
Yeah.
for me, Mars is in Libra. So it means that I'm very conflict resistant and I'm very submissive
Yes.
regards.
Yes. And it can make you passive aggressive like I am, right? Oh my God. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this will be a really good ritual for you, especially Mars and Mercury are enemitic, so they don't get along, right? Because Mercury is very much about grace and kind of an elegance, and Mars is kind of like, get shit done. I don't care. I don't care about your tact. I don't care about that thing you want to protect somebody's feelings. What? Get it done. So just understand that there are some things that are going to definitely be going on with you. Feel those feels, and do your best to, again, harmonize. It's the same thing I was telling Ronnie. Make sure you honor, the egoic needs as well as your spiritual truth. Okay. All
Thank
right,
you.
sweetheart. I hope that's helpful for this week.
Super helpful. I can't wait. I'm super excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to find out what happens with the raw milk. Hopefully you don't go into Whole Foods and ask for raw milk and then they try to arrest you. What, you want raw unpasteurized milk? What you you evil woman? You're like, no, this is just for witchcraft. What? This is just for white witchcraft. Come on, you guys, calm down. Yeah, no, okay. All right.
All right, thank
Very
you.
good. Yeah, you're welcome, Rose. You're welcome. All right, Christina. Getting your errands done, Christina.
Yeah, I have 1 day a week that I go out
Yeah.
and do errands. So this is my 1 day a week.
Very good. Excellent. All right. So, darling, what are we working on for you today?
Well, gosh, you touched on so many good things with everybody else. I am kind of digging into the astrology right now, and really kind of, I think I want to, on a deep level, understand the different aspects. And like, I feel like some of them I relate to a lot, and then some of them I don't relate to so much. And then like how to use all of this information. Like, I'm gathering information, but then it's like, okay, how am I using this information to transform, to empower, and to transform and empower myself.
Now,
So,
Christina, I got a question for you real quick. It sounds to me like you're trying to make something happen within yourself.
There's definitely a little bit of the trying to make something happen. I feel like Rose said, I have been kind of finding my groove lately and getting things done, and like, okay, cool, I have an idea, let me move forward. And then when you started talking about the impotent thing, it's like, yeah, I do this all the time. I get an idea, I get excited, boing, and then, somewhere along the way, it's like, yeah, go right back down. So,
yeah,
just trying to keep it up, And I think that's a little bit of the not sleeping thing, because I just have a lot on my mind, and it's just trying to figure it all out and trying to make something happen while simultaneously being like, oh, you don't have to make it happen. Just, think it, be it, live it. And there's just a lot there. On top of trying to, like, not even trying, working with, healing and understanding all of this stuff that's in my head. I think there's just a lot of like, do, rest, do, don't do, push, pull. So I find myself like, yeah, getting lots of things done, but then also like getting all this information and trying to like sort it all out so that it doesn't get overwhelming. And then I just like, okay, I'm done.
Okay, hold on. Okay. So Christina, some of us are jugglers. We got to take stock, we got our balls, we got to take our balls and we got to put them up in the air. And the thing is, as a juggler, we juggle, right? A juggler knows how to juggle. We've been trained to do that. Now, it sounds to me like you're trying to force yourself to be a juggler, but you're not trained to be a juggler. Because jugglers are trained to be jugglers. And so therefore we don't get stressed out when we're asked to juggle. We got to juggle. We're just like, oh yeah. And it's a beautiful experience. Like, look at me, I got this going, I got that going, I got these people, I got that going, and this is happening, that's happening, this is happening, this is happening. And the attitude is, yeah, bring it. So what this is telling me is that you might have, you're not working necessarily in the right way. So the feminine, so juggling is kind of a masculine thing because it requires a lot of doing. Boom, take this. Boom, take that. You take that one. You take that one, right? A lot of masculine stuff. What I want you to try, just try it for a week. Try being a queen who sits on a throne, and instead of doing the stuff, she sends out a whisper. Create. Income. Business. Blog written. Knowledge received. Right? Just try it and see what happens. Do that at the beginning of the day, right? That'll be your meditation for this week. What do I want to get done? You can write it down if you want to. I want to get all these things done. Okay. Phone calls made, you know, meals prepared, groceries done. What you're doing when you do this is you're just sending out a mental vibration to the universe. And then what a queen would do would not be to go over and say, oh, did you do this? Wait, let me do that. No, you ain't getting that done fast enough. Let me go do this myself. That's not what a queen does. What a queen does is she sits and she waits for the reporters to come to her. And what do? They come and they report back. Okay, Your Highness, we got this done and that done. And here, what do you think about that? And then what she does is she says, okay, we need to adjust that. Okay, I'm my queenliness. I'm tuning in. This needs an adjustment. You see, I want you to try that.
Okay. Okay.
Every day. Set yourself up like that every day. And then throughout the day, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see what kind of feedback you get. Let's see how that impacts the things that you do. We're going to try it this week. To me, this needs to be a lifetime lifestyle alteration.
So my first thought when you were saying that goes back to a thought I had yesterday, where I feel like I'm constantly trying to do things the way other people do them. And I'm like, this is not working for me.
Yep.
So let me figure out how to do this in a way that works for me. So instead of doing my to-do list how I normally do, yesterday I was like, I'm only going to plan out the next 3 hours. So for the first hour, I'm going to do this. The second hour, I'm going to do this. And the third hour, I'm going to do this. And then after those 3 hours, we'll see what's up. And then we'll go from there.
How did
because
that
I feel
feel?
like, I think it was good because I felt like, okay, I'm getting things done, but I'm not putting so much on there that it starts to feel like too much. Because I think I can, the having a lot of things is not what necessarily stresses me. It's I feel like it's a lot of different elements that stress me, because I don't mind having multiple things. It's just the way that I think it's the way that I try to accomplish them, which goes back to kind of digging into the moon and my rising in Virgo, because Virgo is supposed to be, so meticulous and so organized and all of that. And I feel that in some way, but then I feel so personally like disorganized. And when I get like that, that's like, I'm just frustrated and overwhelmed. Everything is all over the place. I don't know what to do. Just like all of this. And it's like not do anything.
Yeah.
So it comes back to kind of what you said, like trying to figure out a way to organize it that is a little less like all over the place. So then in
Well,
what you said, in what you said in trying to set up my day, I guess I'm thinking like, so when I say okay, I guess I'm trying to figure out in a practical way like how to do it what you said, but then still ride the wave that I'm feeling now of like, man, I'm getting things done. That feels good.
wait, okay, so hold on a second. Number one, I'm going to pause for one moment. I'm going to hop offline because I need to let my dog out. Hold on just a second, ladies. I apologize.
Oh, how things going for you guys?
Things are good. I'm just here in a tiny little studio apartment with my fiance, but it's actually really, really wonderful. I'm loving the time with him. I love that we're both home together, and also connecting with all of you just every week is such a joy. So like seriously, thank you so much, both of you, for showing up and contributing. I learned so much from both of you. So
Oh, thank you. Oh,
I really enjoy the connection.
That's so nice. Aw, you guys are so cute. Excellent. Very good. So, Christina, here's what I think I need to. I'm asking you to be a queen, and you keep on wanting to be a manager.
I think I struggle with the I think I feel like there's some resistance in that for me.
Mhm. Okay, so your job is going to be to practice, huh?
I said, but I don't know why. Like you think of like, oh, be a queen. That sounds fun. But then I'm like, no, I can't be a queen. I have to do this, do this, do that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what that
Yeah,
is.
exactly. So I think then maybe the opportunity will be to try to get your head around being a queen. That's going to be the first step. Now, understanding that the moon and the feminine and queenliness are not about doing. That is not the nature of the queen. They're not doers. Watch Game of Thrones. notice, notice.
That's the first episode.
Mm,
I think it has the first episode. I tried.
Okay, I don't know because I've only read the books, so I don't really know what the shows are like. But all I know is queens don't be doing stuff, you know? They be like, wash them dishes.
I was like, it's done.
We gonna organize this party according to my desire, okay? But you have to try it because, and this is for everybody on the call, it's about how did you get in already? I just let you outside. He did not go pee that quick. I know he didn't. Um, so so you have to develop a relationship with the universe where you trust that things are going to happen. And what I am seeing in you consistently is that you don't trust that things are going to happen. You don't trust that the universe is going to deliver unless you make it happen. And so, what I'm asking you to do is to develop a different relationship with the universe. And so this is going to be the first step. Okay. First step is going to be to surrender. This is about surrender. So be the queen and send out your desires to the universe, and wait for them to come back to you with your next steps. Okay?
So then when I get the next steps, do I do something? So am I not supposed to work on the
Maybe,
stuff that I've been
maybe you have to listen. So let's start with one thing that we can monitor. What's one of the things that you want to get done in your life, like in your thing, in your current life? What's one thing that you have to get done?
I am creating a system for my the social media section of my business.
Okay, cool. You're creating a system for the social media, like a system of content delivery.
A system of onboarding new clients,
Okay, got
taking
you.
them through the setup process and how to manage their entire schedule, which part of the system is going to be putting the system in place so that I can bring on somebody else so that I am not doing it all by myself, that I can start to delegate it out and become the CEO of the company instead of the
The
worker bee
worker.
all the time.
Got it. So what that tells me is the conversation that you need to have every morning is, here's my desire, universe. Then you just sit, put it out, right? I see my business. I see my business. All these different parts. I see it as a whole. I'm just sitting here. So the first thing I have to do today is get this done. This is my goal for today. Get this done. And then you go do that. So the difference maybe in what I'm suggesting you do and what you might be doing is there's an intentional sitting, an intentional sitting, an intentional projection of what the desire is, an intentional waiting for the answer of what is most important to be done to come back to you, to come up within you, sitting, waiting patiently. Does that make sense?
It does. I'm fighting it, but it does.
All you have to do is try. Look, if you want to fight air, go ahead and fight air. But what I'm saying is try it and see what happens. If you don't try it, you're not going to know. And if you want to fight, that's going to be on you. But at least this is one way of creating that's very feminine and that allows you to relax into your day, developing a relationship that's conscious in your co-creation, conscious. Try it and see.
I think the real resistance that is coming up for me right now is because what you said about the trust. I feel like there's a huge gap in trust right now because I feel let down. So
Yeah. Okay. You feel let down by past issues, past problems, like things that you thought that you could trust and then you couldn't trust them, like you feel let down.
like I trusted that, and I'm gonna tell you guys something pretty personal. Crystal knows this, but so last year in October I had a baby, and he was born perfectly healthy, no issues, no nothing. And a few hours after he was born, he died. And the autopsy was inconclusive. They didn't find anything anything wrong. So we're not even sure exactly what happened. So I feel very let down right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Christina, you have every right to feel let down because that was really not cool. It wasn't cool of the universe on any level to do that to you and to any woman that's gone through that. It's not cool. This is I think one of the hardest things that we have to face and then go on moving forward, right? And on top of it all, when you're doing something like a business, that's also, like trying to give birth again. Energetically, it's the same thing. Like, you expect me to try to give birth again?
Mhm.
Maybe one of the things that you can do right now, understand that it's okay for you to not move forward. You don't have to trust the universe right now. The universe hasn't earned your trust yet. So this is not a good exercise for you. Maybe right now you need to let yourself do things the way you're doing them and see, after a year, you can try to trust the universe, but you need your time to mourn and you need your time to walk in distrust because you need time.
But then I feel it's there's so many, like, that's why I always just feel so all over the place, and I'm looking for some sense of how do I organize all this so I just don't feel crazy all the time.
Yeah, but you're going to feel
Because
crazy because you're going to be crazy a little bit. You're going to be crazy a little bit. You're going to be crazy for at least a year. At least. You realize you have to mourn? How much time did you give yourself to mourn?
none.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mourn, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
probably the day after, it was like, okay, let me dive back
Try to do
into the
something.
work that my wife and I do, and stay busy and keep moving. This time has been interesting because there's a lot of ways where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, and then I'm not, and then I feel things or I see things, and it's like a trigger. But I've also felt really good with new things that I've been working on. So then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's so many
Look,
things.
you feel good about the things you've been working on because you're still creative, you're still intelligent, you still have brilliant ideas, right? And you're a good worker and you know how to do stuff. But the emotional stuff and the subconscious stuff needs plenty of time to work itself out. And I still say you need a whole year before you can actually really start to even consider opening your heart and trusting again. And I think you deserve that. I think you should keep on doing your work because that helps you, you know? You should keep on trying to do your thing. But I also think you should lower your expectations of what you should get done, you know? And get support. You've got the group, you come on, you're coming here every week, which you're doing this for yourself, which is really good. But in the meantime, just if you can be more gentle with yourself, I think that you would benefit. I think that your work would benefit as well. I think your work would improve if you would give yourself space. Even just by saying, hey, I'm going to be a nutcase over the next, 4 months until the end of the year, or whatever, 6 months until the end of the year. One week at a time.
Yeah.
One week at a time. It was not easy. It was not easy for me to be easy on myself. I'm super easy on myself right now, and it did not come overnight. Okay. Did a lot of beating up on myself for years, you know? But now I'm at a point where I'm kind of like, yeah, this is so much better. My work has not suffered. My work has improved, actually. But the inner stuff is hard. You know, it's hard to trust and to relax and to let go, but you also can try. So I'm taking it back. Yeah, you can try this exercise. Try to be the queen. Go back and try to be the queen this week. Just try it. Because as I said, you can try it. You don't have to make it happen. It doesn't have to be right. You can try it and see what it feels like. Okay? All right, sweetheart. So we can go ahead and wrap it up for today, ladies. And I look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. And definitely in the Facebook group, we will have, I have a cool project for us. It's called the Prosperity Garden, but it's a real garden. Not a real garden, but I've just developed it. It's the idea that I wanted to do a couple months ago, but I didn't have it together. I didn't know what it was going to be. Now I know what it is. It's going to be fun. I think you guys are going to like it. So I'll be updating you, posting this week. First things first though, right? I got to get you all the ritual and the report. You all can work through that stuff. All right. All right, ladies. So thanks so much for joining today. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. All right.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Bye. Bye, lovely. Oh, by the way, Rose, I meant to tell you, I checked out your website. You have a beautiful website, and I'd love to see more of your work, but I didn't see like enough kind of links to your work. I saw, I think maybe one or two.
Okay. In that case, thank you so much for telling me that. And I will definitely try and have more links on there.
Yeah, and maybe if you want to in our Facebook group, if you want to share what you're doing, come on, feel free to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I will put it out there.
Yeah, great. Excellent. All right, you guys. See you guys later. Bye, everybody. Bye.